Is it hard to access affordable, healthy food? Then listen carefully. Daryl Addison, an African-American inventor, has patented a process for growing food on demand. He called it Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot is a fully automated flower pot that gives you control over your plant's environment. All you do is add soil, seeds, and plants to the flower pot and watch it grow. Yes, Torpedo Pot grows the rest. Visit www.torpedopot.com.
So the Hip Hop Caucus is setting its eyes on the 2022 midterm elections, determined to get more Black Americans to the ballot box. But the question I have for the Hip Hop Caucus is why? Why do you want to get more Black Americans to the ballot box? What would be the reason? Can you present those reasons to any Black American that will possibly ask those questions? So the Hip Hop Caucus was founded in 2004, the nonprofit, nonpartisan organization. I say nonpartisan, that's interesting. Has for years leaned on the hip hop culture to inform and educate voters on the importance of making their voice heard. 1 year out of another crucial election, the organization has launched their Respect My Vote campaign. They said Black voters decided the election in 2020, and they'll be just as critical in 2022. According to Reverend Lennox Yearwood Jr., he's the president and CEO of the Hip Hop Caucus. And he said this in a press release shared with the news. He says, in a democracy, there's no off years. All of the issues which matter most to us, he said, are on the line: combating the climate crisis, protecting voting rights, and standing up for economic justice. He said, this is why we must ensure whenever elections are happening, Black voters are given the resources they need to show up. Now, he said every fight, he said, we are fighting relies on our ability to vote. This is what Reverend Yearwood stated. Now, he said following the 2020 election, over a dozen states, including Texas and Georgia, passed their election bills. It said, and they claim, this is what they're claiming here, that it is, voter suppression in the bills themselves, but no, it's not voter suppression in the bills. It's just very simple. If you have an ID, you can vote. They have extended more early voting days. They extended that. Now, they stopped the drive-through voting, the mail-in ballots, and then you on the mail-in ballot, you got to put your last 4 digits of your social security number or, your driver license number, right? So I looked at the measure. If there's voter suppression with that Texas bill, I'll be the first one saying something about it. I live here. We've been having voter ID. I told y'all, when they focus on this voter ID thing and they want to say it's racist for voter ID, they're not saying that about us. They like to use us, but like we said before, they want other people who are non-citizens to vote in these elections. So this is why voter ID is quote unquote racist, which is not. We have a voter ID system in Texas. It never stopped me from voting. You need an ID to drive. You need an ID to get a job. You need an ID if you go into that bar or nightclub you're going to, right? If you're flying on an airplane, they need to see your ID. It's all kinds of people need to see an ID. So don't be out here disrespecting my community saying that we can't get an ID. No, I can't stand that. Now, what they're saying also here is this. They're talking about climate change and all this. Let me tell you something about the climate change thing. Like they said in I think it was the president of Ghana. Y'all the one messed up the climate. Why is that important for me? Black folks didn't mess up the environment. Black folks didn't put all this, the coal and all the things that y'all been doing to the environment. We didn't do that. So don't be trying to pressure me talking about something. No, you fixed it. You mess it up, you fix it. That's how I feel about it, right? So this is the thing. Okay, Reverend Yearwood, and like I said, brother, you came on our show before, and I appreciate you coming over here to the show and interviewing. And even in that particular interview, me and you, brother, had a disagreement. And so this is what I'm going to say to you now. What are you going to tell black voters why they should go out and vote? And let's call it what it is, brother. Let's call it what it is. It's not about just getting registered to vote, brother. We both know that in our community, the donkey party is a religion. Okay? Just as much as them going to their church house. Okay? It's not about getting registered to vote. Let's call it what it is. Y'all won't, and you feel that party, y'all, that you believe that you got a fool with, right? Is what black people should go vote for. Brother, we're not voting for no one that does nothing for us. Do you understand that, Reverend Yearwood? We're not doing it. I'm speaking directly to you, brother. You came over here on our show and we had a good, conversation. So I'm going to speak to you just as your brother. That's it. Reverend Yearwood, we are sitting here watching Jim Crow Joe give something to everybody except the people that got him elected. Why would we show up for a party that done nothing for us? No George Floyd bill, no ending of qualified immunity. You talking about voting rights. They didn't do that. And Jim Crow Joe could have got all that done. All he had to do was end the filibuster. He could have got that done, but he didn't want to do it. He said his infrastructure bill was more important. And he felt the pushing mandates was more important than what got him elected. Right? So why should black Americans go and reward them with more power when he's causing black Americans to be unemployed for a medical decision that they have a right to make or not make? It is that party, Reverend Yearwood, that's now in New York. Mayor de Blasio, even though he's on his way out, is saying that he wants to put in mandates on children 5 to 12 years old. 5 to 12. To say they can't go in certain businesses and everything like adults if their parent don't make them make a medical decision. It's not implemented. He said he would like it to go in effect when he leaves, but the simple fact that he mentioned it is concerning. And it's that party that's pushing that. I live in the state of Texas. We don't have all that going on. And guess what? You don't have mass graveyards here in the state going on. I would tell you, listen, I would be the first one to tell you, hey man, what they're doing here in the state of Texas is not working. I would tell you, states like Georgia, states like Florida, that's not following that mess of that party, right? And nothing is happening. Everybody's okay. So why would I want a party to stay in power that believe in authoritarianism on top of not doing nothing for my people? That same Jim Crow Joe wants to pay migrants who aren't even citizens of this country, broke United States federal law, and wants to pay them a reparation. Why would I go vote for that and reward those people with my vote or other black people? They could be concerned all day. We're not their freaking slaves and we're not their mules to keep them with political power. No, we believe as a people now, you're going to respect us. And respecting ourselves is not allowing people to use and abuse us. That's respecting yourself. And our mantra is, what have you done for me lately? If you don't do nothing for us, we don't want to hear no people of color. We don't want to hear no minorities. We don't want to hear no distressed communities. We don't want to hear no disproportionate anything. All we want to know is what is going to happen for the black community. That's it. And we want to see money on the table in a policy. Just like the Asian community got $50 million. And they got a whole hate crime bill. We need our own hate crime bill. And we need money too. We need money, yes. Everybody else getting broke off with checks and we can't get ours? No, we're not going to reward you with votes if you don't do nothing for us. It's just that simple. So Rev, you going to run into some pushback, Rev. I'm letting you know. I'm just telling you because some brothers and sisters are very amped up right now. So it's better for me to tell you before you start approaching people. Now, of course, you're going to have some people that's scary and that's not going to want to stand up for themselves, and they fine being the mule of America. But the people that I represent in Black America, and they are many, they are tired. And they refuse to watch everybody else eat and everybody else get money and everybody else get set aside and we get nothing. No, you give us something for our vote, or we're going to do one or two things. We either going to have the election day cookout or protest vote against that particular party. And some people in the Virginia election did just that, what I just said. Some reported back to me that they did a protest vote. Some said, I just had my time at home chilling, enjoying myself, and I want to wait and see what the results are. And they did that. And this is why the Donkey Party was demolished. Now, in 2022, it's going to happen again. Why? Because they're doubling down on not doing nothing for Black people. And one of the main ones that got Jim Crow Joe back out of, his campaign is almost dead. That Jim Crow Clyburn out of South Carolina, 6th District, he's the one that got Jim Crow Joe back up in front of the people because his campaign was dead. And I've been saying Jim Crow Clyburn needs to go. His election is coming up next year. In 2022, in November. There are 2 other candidates on the ballot as of right now. And we need our brothers and sisters in South Carolina, in the 6th District, to get yourself registered to vote. And let's go it on and get Jim Crow Clyburn out. He's been there long enough. He was cool with a bill not having qualified immunity in it. Oh, no. He got to go. And like I said, the reason why I keep pointing out him is because if you get rid of him, you're going to send a shockwave across that CBC. See, Reverend Yearwood, we talking different over here, brother. No, we ready to get the CBC members out. They all need to be replaced. It'd be better they retire and just go on, just like a lot of Republicans are doing, right? A lot of them are retiring, the ones that cross Trump. They retiring. They got to worry about being defeated and humiliated. So I would prefer Jim Crow Clyburn just to go on and retire. I would prefer that. But we know he's not going to do that. So he needs to be defeated. This is what we're on. Just that simple. We need new blood, younger people coming in with ideas that represent the community that's young. Just call it what it is, brother. Gotta let you know. So if you have a little pushback on what you're doing, don't say I didn't tell you. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about that. If you think that the Hip Hop Caucus could come to you and tell you to show up, in 2022 and do everything for these people. But like I said, if they're not doing nothing for you, no, forget that. We need money. Yes, we need to run us our money. We need that. We need that in the bill. We're going to give you education. We're going to give you No. Run me my money. I need my money. It's time. Everybody else getting money. I need mine. Period. We know we're not going to get no. Well, we're going to create a task force and we're going to talk about this. And we're going to talk about equity. And we're going to, no. I don't need you to talk about nothing. Run me my money. That's all I need. I need my money. That's it. That's all I need to see in a bill. You can make the bill one sentence. Just run me my money in that bill. That's the only thing I need. All that talking, we don't need that no more. People that talked enough. Run me my money. It's just that simple. And if the Democrats don't want to, or Donkey Party don't want to run me the money, or run us the money, let me say, not me, just us. They want to run us our money, well then we already know what to do. Protest vote and chill out. Election day cookout, one of the two. Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.